church. Hope you're having a fantastic week. It's another beautiful week here in Monterey Bay. We just completed our 6-week series on living generously. And of course, finished with our missions emphasis. And we'll talk more about the results of that this coming Sunday because it was just a great time and I'm excited about what God did in our church. But I'm also excited about this Sunday as we start something new. For the next 2 months, October, November, we're going to be talking about a gospel-centered life. Now that may sound like a heady kind of theological title, but what does it mean? The gospel is the good news of Christ, empowering us for living. And so what does a gospel-centered life look like? And I'm proposing that all too often in the church, we as believers, we try to add God to what we're doing. We try to fit Him in somewhere as a piece of the puzzle instead of actually going back to the basics and saying, God, what do you want? I remember being a kid and I would constantly be asked, well, what are you going to be when you grow up? What are you going to study at college? What do you want to do with your life? And those are great questions, but they cause us to look introverted into ourselves and what we think is best and what we want. And I'm going to propose to you that that's not the real question. The real question is, what does God want for our life? And how does He want our lives to be centered around the gospel? And does that mean that He wants all of us to, be pastors? Of course not, because we all have different walks of life. We all have different things that we do. But what does it look like to have the gospel, the good news of Christ, the center of everything that we do? Not just at church for an hour or two on Sunday, but at Monday in the workplace, on Tuesday after work when we're at our kids' soccer game, at Wednesday after work when we're hanging out with some friends. What does it look like to really live this life with the gospel in the middle? Not adding God to what we do, but making Him the foundation, the center of all that we do. It's a challenging topic. I'm going to warn you, you're probably not going to like some of the things that we talk about over the next 8 weeks because it's going to be very challenging. And once the word is given, we're probably all going to have to make some changes. But I strongly feel that this is where God has us as a church, because it's time to become not just a church on the peninsula that loves God and does some things together and has some great events. No, it's time to be a church that's a light, a church that as we're out in the world every single week, that the presence of God radiates from us in everything that we do, and we say that people notice and take attention or pay attention because it's just part of who we are. It emanates from our very countenance, from the words that we say, from the attitudes that we have with people. A gospel-centered life. What would this community look like if we as a church put the gospel at the center of everything that we do? I challenge you to come Sunday as we kick off this journey and find out. God bless you. See you soon.